Good morning, it's Matt. Hope you're doing well. Today's topic is who is controlling your mind? And this is something that I have spent a lot of time in my life thinking about. And I don't mean it in any sort of conspiracy sense of mind control, and I mean it in a very practical way. Um, you know, Ultimately, our life is made up of our decisions, and our decisions are so much based on the way that we think that I think it's really important to ask ourselves, to what degree are we actually in control and directing our minds versus just being reactive and taking things from our environment and thinking that that's us. At the very fundamental base level, we come here as children, as infants, and our parents start to teach us things and and affect the way that we see the world. And in the most ideal form of parenthood, the parent is very much a guide that helps bring out the most authentic piece of the child and helps the child to find his or her true path in life. But frequently, parents are not perfect, and they may bring in their own biases or their own dreams that they would like to have done, or dreams that they have for some reason for the child. And the dreams of the parent may not be the dreams of the child. So there's a very clear and early example of how the thoughts in one's head, now you've got the authentic ones that come from your genetics and your own internal spiritual desires, plus the desires of your parents. And then, as we get a little bit older, we have our peer group in school. And especially as adolescents, we want so much to fit in that the addiction to other people's approval becomes extremely, extremely strong. And unconsciously, a lot of people begin to veer away from who they really are in order to fit in. In moments where we do things that other kids may not approve of, or if we do something, if we're speaking in front of a crowd in high school and, for some reason the speech doesn't go well, that doesn't mean we're terrible public speakers. But in that moment, the level of embarrassment or shame that's projected onto us by other people may cause us to think in our mind, oh, I'm never going to speak again, when maybe it's your innate gift to be a great public speaker. So, growing again to be older, we have so many external influences, from our friends to our relationships to advertising, the projected picture of a beautiful and perfect retirement where if you just work hard and stay within the rule book, you too will have a perfect and happy retirement with the love of your life and a wonderful family and enough money, and all you have to do is sort of toe the party line. And again, that may be, the perfect path for you. For a lot of people, they want something different, but they're afraid to take a more risky path because there's a great fear in our society of our own responsibility and our own power. And let me explain that a little bit more. If we do what other people tell us to do, or if we always take the safe path, then if it goes wrong, we can always blame other people or say that we did everything by the book and use that as justification for why we're not happy. Whereas if we take the road less traveled, the very authentic path where we really learn to get to know ourselves through meditation, through yoga, through asking ourselves what we really want, and then making decisions and thinking in a self-directed way, then we bear the responsibility for our decisions. We have chosen to take control of our own destiny. And then if it goes well, or if it doesn't go well, the responsibility is on us. And for most people, that's way, way too much. But, is it better to take the path of, a sheep and then be able to say, oh, well, it's not my fault, I did what everybody told me to do? That's really not a great outcome, because you're the one who has to live with that result. You can, blame it on your family or blame it on society or blame it on anything, but your family and society is busy living their own life, and ultimately we have to live with the outcome of all the decisions that we've made. So why not make the effort to really get to know ourselves well enough to make choices that are authentic with who we are? And therefore, at the end of our life, regardless of what the outcome has been, at least we can say that we have done the work and made the effort to live a life that is authentic to our highest potential and our highest calling. It's like the Sinatra song, at the very least, you will know you did it your way. And I think there is great, great peace and fulfillment just in that alone, regardless of the result. I do also believe that the result, if you do it authentically and based on your own internal passions, the results of your life is going to be much higher. In my experience, when I've gone with my personal truth, it's been a lot more effective than when I've betrayed myself. And I think the majority of people who have achieved happiness and success in this life would tell you the same thing. Think about it. Every genius and every person who has accomplished something great for humanity has, by definition, done something that is outlying the norm. They certainly haven't made these great achievements and discoveries and innovations by doing what everybody else told them to do. Most of the time, everybody told them they were crazy, but they believed in it enough to continue. And that is the power of passion and the power of alignment with your true and highest self, because when you're aligned with your true and highest self, it calls into your life, a power and an intensity and a drive that is unimaginable when before you make that decision to be true to yourself. When before you make that decision, you're kind of living at a 4 out of 10 and slogging along. But when you make that decision that you are really going to live in authentic alignment with your true and highest self, and you will not stop until you achieve what you know to be your highest potential, you ignite something within yourself that is so powerful. And whether you want to call it alignment with the universe or with nature or your genetics or with God or the universe, whatever, it's just semantics. The point is that level of living is available to everybody. That level of mastery in life, of igniting your truest self, igniting your deepest passion, unlocking your highest potential, and allowing that to spread through all areas of your life, from your career to your personal relationships to the way you feel every minute of every day. And, why live at a 4 when a 10 is available? A lot of us don't think we deserve to live at a 10. I disagree. I think everybody deserves to live at a 10. It takes work, it takes discipline, but it's well worth it. And, I am not saying that we shouldn't listen to other people. I think it's very important that we don't live on an island and reject everything that's being said to us. And a lot of things that our parents and our society and other people say are extremely valuable, and we can avoid making mistakes that other people have made by listening to them. But I come back to an analogy that I always love to use, which is your life. Let's imagine that your life is like a plane. And in every plane there is a cockpit where the pilot sits, and there is the passenger area. So from now on, I would like you to always remember to think of your life as a plane where you are the pilot and there is a nice barrier between the cockpit and the rest. And the rest, the passenger area, is everything else in your life. All the other people, all the experiences, all the books, all the social media, the influences, the experiences. That is all the passengers in your life. And those passengers will come to the cockpit door and they will give you information. They will speak to you. They will give you advice. You will ask them questions. They will give you responses. But in the end, it's your responsibility to close the door of the cockpit after you have received all of that advice and then make your own decision. Because everybody's decision will be different. And in this way, we live among the passengers in our life, but we are also always fundamentally alone. Because only you can truly know what's right for you. That is a decision that is between you and the divine or the universe or your genetic nature, whatever you want to call it. But nobody can tell you really what is going to make you happy. They can tell you what makes them happy. They can give you a set of options. They can tell you about their experience. But ultimately, your true happiness rests on your knowledge of yourself and being true to yourself. And I hope that you enjoy from now on being the pilot of your own life. I wish you all the best and many blessings. Take care.